Celebrating 30 years of pretty much anything these days is unheard of. Celebrating 30 years of things in healthcare is even less common. And the fact that we've been able to maintain such a high functioning and such great healthcare excellence in a rural community is so impressive. And I'm so grateful to get to be a part of its legacy, because it's truly a legacy that's worth talking about and celebrating. So really excited that I get to be a part of it. I have been with FHN and the Ferguson Cancer Center for just over 3 years now, so I'm going into my 4th year. I've really loved pretty much every moment of it. The neat thing is this cancer center's been here for 30 years, and I'm only the 3rd director. And you do not see leadership tenure like that anymore, which is just amazing. And another really key component of its legacy here of the high quality care, because you get nice, consistent expectations. Patients know what to walk into every single day, and they know what to expect when they get here. And that is a true comment on the staff that's here. Getting into healthcare originally is actually my 2nd career. I started out as a personal finance counselor, and then now here I am working as a nurse and now a nurse leader. My mother was diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia in 2009. She was initially told that she had 2 weeks to live. I'm very happy to share that she's still with me today. And the way that those nurses were able to make her feel, the way that they were able to make me feel, was something that I was like, oh, I want to try and do this for somebody someday. I think when I went to walk into the cancer center for the first time, I had no idea what to expect. I thought it was going to probably be pretty sterile, clean, very clinical. I walked in the building and I was like, these people are really friendly, they're really nice. It kind of looks like a living room out here. It's kind of a neat touch. This is still very clean, but it doesn't feel sterile. Oh, this is interesting. And then I spent a little bit more time here and a little bit more time, and it's not a sad place. It is a warm, inviting place. We do that very intentionally. Everything from the lighting that we choose to the furniture that we choose, to the decorations on the wall. We have a couple of our nurses are very passionate about making sure that we have fun decorations throughout the year, because when you're coming here all the time, you notice things like decorations changing for the seasons. You notice if things are decorated for Christmas. One of our nurses has done a really fun board the last few Christmases where you get to pick out who's who, whose pet does that belong to, or whose baby picture is that, and that's been really fun because patients get involved with it too. So we want to include them in our world just as much as we're included in theirs. This shouldn't feel like a one-way relationship when you walk in these doors. This is a team sport, and we want our patients to know that they're on the team. Because when you walk in the doors here, there's roughly 25 people on any given day, give or take, depending. And they're responsible for a cumulative 635 years of healthcare experience. And that's not just work experience, I'm talking specifically healthcare. So whether they were CNAs, EMTs, nurses, reception, whatever the case may be, they've been involved in helping patients access, navigate, and figure out the healthcare system for a cumulative over 600 years, which really blows my mind. We have one of our nurses has been with FHN for 45 years, and another one of our nurses has been in this building since it opened in 1995, so 30 years. She's been with FHN longer than that, but specifically has been here from the very beginning, which is just astounding and something I hope she is incredibly proud of. Dr. Shake, I have had the absolute fortune of sitting in on patient consults with him, patient family care conferences. There's something really special about a provider who can sit down and meet a patient and their family right where they're at. They can say, I understand this is what you want for you, and I'm going to support you in doing that. Or it doesn't really seem like you're too sure on what you want. So I'm going to very clearly lay out these options for you, and we're not going to decide right now. We're going to take time, we're going to think about this, and then we're going to move forward. And to bring that level of just peace and comfort to go, okay, he's got this, he knows what he's talking about, is so great. The analogy I like to use in my head when I think about the dynamics of the relationship is he's the navigator. So if you're thinking of a ship and the captain, you would be like, oh, well, the medical oncologist must be the captain. No. The captain will always be the patient. They're the ones in charge. They're the ones making their decisions for their care. Oh, well, then he must be the first mate. No. The first mate's the family, the support people. They're the ones taking care of that patient and making sure that they feel empowered to make a decision regarding their care. The second mate, the navigator, that's where Dr. Shake comes into play. He does the role exceptionally well. His commitment to the patients really spills in over to the staff and vice versa. Whether you're a nurse, social work, radiation therapy, wherever your role may be, it's really cool to see everyone fills each other's cups up. It's like, oh, you just did that amazing thing. I'm going to do an amazing thing, and then I'm going to do one. And everyone's encouraged to keep doing more and better for our patients because we know that's what they deserve, and it's what we would want for ourselves or our families. Dr. Canero is probably one of the most innovative and forward-thinking providers I've had the privilege of working with. And it's so funny because when you get someone who's that passionate about growth and evolution and the newest and greatest thing, it can make leadership, it can make staff and everybody a little dizzy because it's like, okay, what are we doing now? What's next? But it's so cool because once we can wrap our heads around it and we make a plan of attack, we start doing really cool things. And that's exactly what happened with the low-dose radiation therapy program for osteoarthritis. Dr. Canero came to me and he's like, this looks like really promising. We should start this. We should be at the leading edge of making this happen for patients. So you've got this great compassionate presence of arm in arm. I'm a partner here with you with Dr. Shake, and with Dr. Canero, we're gonna figure out the newest, greatest, latest, and do the best things that we possibly can. It's the best of both worlds. You can't beat it.
I've been here for the past 15 years, and throughout that time, we've always implemented and embraced the latest technologies in medical oncology and all the advancements that are evidence-based to treat patients with cancer. And that includes the entire scope of IV and oral chemotherapies, biological treatments, treatments that manipulate hormone pathways, and cutting-edge immunotherapy, which is really at the forefront of oncology care. We also have a very state-of-the-art radiation machine, which we use in conjunction with immunotherapy and chemotherapy to help produce the best outcomes for patients. So we have all of this available in a small community atmosphere with an academic level of prestige and expertise that we can provide for our patients here in the community, so you don't really have to go anywhere for that level of care. I'm a storyteller at heart, and I enjoy making these personal connections with people. I love listening about their journey, about their life stories, and I genuinely am passionate about that, and it's always an honor to engage with people on that level. I'm also a very strong believer in the healing power of love and security. And so at the center, what we try to inculcate is creating an environment that is warm, loving, and just fun. That type of environment has an extraordinary power to heal patients who are embarking on a journey to fight their cancer. Another aspect of my philosophy I would mention is that what people truly remember is not so much the clinical outcome in a medical case. What patients and families remember at the end of the day is how you made them feel. And that really transcends beyond clinical care. And during times of sadness or in times of joy, how you make a patient and the family feel is really the most important thing, in my opinion. And that's all that ever matters in the end.
I had a grand total of 19 treatments. And they were split evenly, well, 9 to 10, between Florida and Freeport. And I was kind of fortunate in a way that I could compare the two treatment centers. And Freeport was far and away the better one. It's a very comfortable environment here. The core of nurses was very stable. They were very friendly. Dr. Sheikh never missed an appointment where if I was getting treatment, he would see me. He would walk around. In Florida, I never once saw a team member while I was getting the treatment. In Florida, it was like you were a number. And here it was more of a family treatment center. And in my case, I'm in remission, so I'm very thankful for that. From the diagnosis to the first treatment was a very short time. You know, initially you've got to have a lot of blood tests and echocardiograms and scans, and then a port put in and this and that, and it was all done very quickly. Click, 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 click. I felt if I was in the Chicago area, it would have taken me a month to do all those appointments. But here it was all very well coordinated. He instilled a lot of confidence to begin with. He assured me that he was very capable in what he was prescribing. If I had any questions, he answered them completely. I was never leaving here wondering about something. And we had a good rapport. He's kind of a car nut, and I'm a car nut, so we talked about cars, and that would drive my wife crazy. But I had a very, very good experience here, and for what that's worth, I would recommend that people attend the Ferguson Center rather than go far away or go to a bigger name. The focus here is much sharper, easier to absorb.
There's several things I think that make the Leonard Ferguson Cancer Center great. Number one, we're chemotherapy and radiation therapy, both departments are together, and that allows us to work really closely hand in hand. Me and Dr. Sheikh are able to discuss patients very, very frequently and freely. And you don't always see that in a lot of cancer centers. Oftentimes the radiation is in one place, medical oncology or chemotherapy is in another place, and it can be a little bit fragmented. So having everything together in one place and our teams working very closely together allows for the care to be very seamless and comprehensive, and I think that's a great advantage. So it's been about 15 years since I finished my training at Northwestern, and in those last 15 to 20 years, there's been a lot of change in the field of radiation therapy and radiation oncology. First of all, radiation is a very technology-driven specialty, and over the last 2 decades, we've seen a lot of technological innovation, primarily in engineering, computer software, so that it's allowed us to be able to deliver the radiation much more precisely, which spares patients a lot more of those side effects that they would have had maybe 10, 20, 30 years ago. It also allows us to give the radiation at higher doses so that we could finish these patients faster, so it's more convenient for them. And overall, because of that, it's just given us better outcomes as far as cure rates and reduction of side effects and patient convenience. So for all of those reasons, we've seen a lot of change over the years as far as just technology. For me, it's really about listening to and asking a lot of questions to every patient, because I understand that every patient is different, really. And you can have data and you can have evidence to do things a certain way, but every patient's unique, so it's really important if they're having any questions or concerns or issues during treatment to really address that, and just to treat everyone with their own unique cancer and their own unique issues that kind of come up with treatment. So really, I really just take each patient on a very individual basis and try to learn from them.
I walked in here, and it's calm, and it's peaceful. And you have Amanda and Natalie at the front desk who, regardless of what's going on in their life, there's always a huge smile. And as much as I didn't want to be here, you just feel cared for here, like right away. I felt like things might just be okay. It's 25 minutes from my home. My family could come with me. I have a sister who lives in St. Louis who came for every one of my chemo treatments. My husband would bring our little dog up to the window out in the beautiful garden area so I could see him through the window, or they'd let me take a little break and go out and talk with them or pet my little dog. The nurses all back there kind of laughed. They said my room, my little cubicle area, was like the party room because I had coworkers who'd stop in with cookies or, friends who would bring lunch over, and it was just almost like a party, and you never once felt like you were going through a treatment. I didn't at all. I'm going on 2 years worth of treatment because I still get immunotherapy here. I have not met a single person on this staff who has not. I say everyone was my favorite. It doesn't matter who comes to get me from the waiting room. I say, oh, you're my favorite person. But, what really comes to mind is Emily and Rebecca were my first two, the first day I had treatment. And because of that, I feel like, I just feel like we've been on this whole journey together. But, Deb and Jen, I don't even miss anybody's name because I've had the opportunity to work with them all. I think that whoever selects the staff for the cancer center, they've got a perfect model for selecting the right person here. There are a lot of people who are technically capable of doing what they do, but not everybody has the emotional capacity to care for patients like I receive care here. I feel like the promise made to me when I walked in here was that I would get the best possible care. When I hear a promise kept, I can tell you I got the best possible care. I also feel like at any time, this cancer center's here for me. And it doesn't matter if it's maybe a sillier question or maybe one that didn't need to come here. Somebody's gonna pick up the phone and they're going to help me navigate through whatever it is I need to do next. But I will tell you, I feel like a promise has been kept to me. You just feel it when you walk in the door. I advocate for this, I don't want to call it a facility, I don't even call it a cancer center, for this building and these people in every conversation I have.
We are estimating that since 1995, we have treated approximately 25,000 patients. Unique patients, that's how many lives we've touched, which is really astounding when you think the population of Freeport's right about 25,000 people. Clearly that's going in a much larger area, but if you took every single body in Freeport, that's about the quantity of people that we've treated in 30 years. Looking ahead into the next 30 years, I wish I had a crystal ball. I think we are going to do really amazing things in cancer care. I think there's a lot of really great science coming out that is everywhere from vaccine preventable cancers to targeted treatments where we actually look at your genetics and we go, that's the weak spot and this drug is going to target it, which is amazing because not so long ago it was, we're going to just kind of kill everything and we'll get the bad stuff too. Now it's, we're only going to get the bad stuff and you're not going to feel half as bad as when we had to use those big broad treatments. So we're going to be within the next hopefully year or two, we'll be getting a new linear accelerator. That'll be our third machine, as much as we try and make this a comfortable place. it's a scary moment to go, I'm walking in here today as a cancer patient. And we hope that we're able to take that away and that fear and kind of quell it over time, so that eventually you walk through those doors and you go, this is my home away from home.